Get your broke self out of this lobby before we charge you for trespassing. The officer's command sliced through the air as guests froze mid-check-in at the Golden Haven Hotel. Amani Wivers didn't flinch. She stood firm behind the counter she'd built from the ground up, every inch of her radiating quiet power. To the cops and her scheming manager, she was just another black woman out of place. But the moment they cuffed her, the countdown began. By morning, the truth would explode. The staff would be fired, and their badges would be gone. Before we go any further, comment where in the world you're watching from and make sure to subscribe because tomorrow's story is one you don't want to miss. The morning sun streamed through the golden-tinted windows of the Golden Haven Hotel, casting warm patterns across the polished marble floor. Amani Rivers moved through her lobby with quiet grace, her heels clicking softly against the stone. She wore a cream-colored blazer with a golden silk scarf, her signature touch that matched the hotel's elegant aesthetic. "Good morning, Mrs. Peterson." Amani smiled warmly at an elderly guest who was a regular visitor. "I trust you slept well." "Like a dream as always," Mrs. Peterson beamed. "Your new mattresses are heaven sent." Amani made her way to the front desk where Gloria James was humming an old gospel tune while carefully polishing the brass fixtures. Her weathered hands moved with practiced care over every surface until it gleamed. "Those door handles have never looked better, Gloria," Amani said, touching the older woman's shoulder gently. Gloria's eyes crinkled with pride. "Can't have anything less than perfect in our house, Miss Rivers." Behind the desk, Logan Shaw stood stiffly, his pressed suit as rigid as his posture. His fingers tapped impatiently on the computer keyboard as he pointedly ignored their exchange. Amani noticed his jaw clench. It happened whenever she referred to the hotel as ours. Settling into her office just off the lobby, Amani opened her laptop. A notification caught her eye. A new 5-star review had just posted online. She clicked it open, satisfaction warming her chest as she read. The Golden Haven isn't just a hotel. It's an experience in excellence. From the impeccable service to the gorgeous decor, every detail speaks of quality and care. A crown jewel of Savannah hospitality. Pride swelled in her heart. This was what her father had dreamed of when he'd worked as a porter in this very building 60 years ago. Now his daughter owned it, had transformed it into one of downtown's most prestigious addresses. A sharp knock interrupted her thoughts. Logan Shaw stood in her doorway, his smile not quite reaching his eyes. "Miss Rivers, I wanted to discuss our appearance standards again," he said, closing the door behind him. "Some of our housekeeping staff are wearing rather ethnic hairstyles. I'm concerned about maintaining our professional image." Amani's face remained perfectly composed, though her stomach tightened. "Our staff's natural hair is professional, Mr. Shaw. We've been through this before. Our clientele has certain expectations." "Yes, they expect excellent service, which they receive," Amani cut him off smoothly. "Was there anything else?" Logan's nostrils flared slightly. "The weekend numbers." He was interrupted by heavy footsteps in the hallway. Deshaun Rivers appeared in the doorway, his broad shoulders filling the frame. Despite his crisp suit, his military bearing was evident in his straight spine and alert eyes. "Morning, Mama," he said, then nodded curtly to Logan. "Mr. Shaw." "Deshaun," Amani smiled. "How was the vendor meetings?" "Productive. Our new linen suppliers' prices are better and their quality's just as good." He placed a folder on her desk, positioning himself slightly between her and Logan. "The restaurant's produce delivery had some issues, though. I'll brief you later." Logan cleared his throat. "Well, I should return to the front. We're expecting the Thompson wedding party soon." He retreated, his shoes clicking rapidly across the floor. Deshaun watched him go, his expression dark. "I don't trust that man, Mama." "Neither do I, baby," Amani sighed. "But he knows his job, and he brings in business." "He brings in a certain kind of business," Deshaun muttered. Amani stood and walked to her office window, which overlooked the lobby. Gloria was now arranging fresh flowers, their sweet scent drifting through the air. A young black couple was checking in, the woman admiring the crystal chandeliers while their little girl twirled on the patterned carpet. "This is what matters," Amani said softly. "When I was that child's age, we couldn't even stay in hotels like this. Now she can see someone who looks like her owning one." Movement near the elevators caught her eye. Logan was speaking in low tones with a man in an expensive gray suit. Something about their body language made her instincts prickle. The way they stood too close, how Logan's hand partially concealed their handshake, the quick glance around before they parted. The man in the gray suit walked briskly toward the entrance. As he passed through a shaft of sun-morning light, Amani's breath caught. She recognized the silver hair, the confident stride, the artificial smile. Councilman Walter Reed, chairman of the Urban Renewal Committee, the same man who'd been in the news last month praising the revitalization of the historic Grayson Street neighborhood. The same neighborhood where 3 Black-owned businesses had mysteriously lost their leases before being bought out by developers. Deshawn stepped up beside her. "Mama, you okay?" Amani watched him go through the revolving door, her reflection in the window glass showing no trace of her unease. "I'm fine, baby. Just fine." The lobby buzzed with activity as the Teachers Association convention brought waves of retired educators through the Golden Haven's doors. Their animated chatter about educational reform and memorable classroom moments filled the air, mixing with the soft classical music playing through hidden speakers. Gloria James stood near the entrance, helping an elderly Black delivery man who was slumped on one of the lobby's plush benches. His uniform was dark with sweat from hours of working in the Georgia heat. She held a glass of ice water to his trembling hands. "Take your time, Mr. Washington," Gloria said softly, her motherly concern evident in this heat. The driver nodded gratefully, sipping the water. "Thank you, ma'am. Just need a minute. Been delivering since dawn." "You delivered our linens on schedule," Gloria assured him. "At least we can offer you some water and rest." The peaceful moment shattered as Logan Shaw's voice cut through the lobby. "What is this?" He stormed across the marble floor, his face flushed with anger. "We're not running a homeless shelter." Gloria straightened her spine. "Mr. Washington is our linen delivery driver, Mr. Shaw. I don't care who he claims to be." Logan's voice rose, drawing attention from nearby guests. "This is a 4-star hotel, not some street corner rest stop. Get him out." Mr. Washington struggled to his feet, dignity warring with exhaustion on his weathered face. "I'm going, sir. Don't want no trouble." "Logan!" Amani's voice rang out clear and firm as she emerged from her office. The lobby fell quiet as she crossed the floor, her heels striking a measured rhythm against the marble. "That's enough, Mr. Shaw." Logan turned, his lips curling. "This is a security issue. We can't have random people lounging in our lobby." "Mr. Washington has been delivering our linens for 3 years," Amani said evenly. "He's a valued partner of this business, and Gloria was right to offer him water on a day like today." She turned to the driver. "Please, sir, take your time. You're welcome here." Logan's gaze darkened. "You don't make those decisions. I'm the general manager, and I say he needs to leave." He stepped closer to Amani, lowering his voice to a hiss. "And you need to stop undermining my authority." Several convention guests had their phones out now, recording the confrontation, Amani noticed, but kept her focus on Logan. "I expect you to apologize to both Mr. Washington and Gloria, now." "Apologize?" Logan barked out a laugh. "I don't take orders from you. In fact," he pulled out his phone, fingers jabbing at the screen. "Yes, police. We have a situation at the Golden Haven Hotel. An aggressive woman is threatening our staff and refusing to leave the premises." Gasps rippled through the lobby. Gloria's hand flew to her mouth. "Mr. Shaw, you can't." "She's becoming hostile," Logan continued into the phone, his eyes locked on Amani. "We need officers immediately." He hung up and coldly smiled. "Now we'll see who really runs this place." Amani stood perfectly still, her heart pounding but her face composed. "Gloria, please help Mr. Washington to the staff room." "Mr. Shaw, you're making a serious mistake." "The only mistake was letting you think you belonged behind that desk," Logan sneered. Sirens wailed in the distance, growing closer. The convention guests murmured, more phones appearing to record the scene. Through the golden-tinted windows, red and blue lights began to flash. 3 officers burst through the revolving door, 2 men and a woman. The larger male officer, Brent Klein, immediately moved toward Amani, while Sergeant Vance approached Logan. Officer Dana Rohr hung back, her hand resting uneasily on her belt. "What's the situation here?" Haylor demanded, though his eyes had already settled on Amani with familiar prejudice. Logan pointed dramatically. This woman is disturbing our guests and refusing to leave when asked. She's been aggressive and hostile, Logan finished. We need her removed. I'm Amani Rivers, the owner of this hotel, Amani stated clearly, reaching for her purse. I can show you. Officer Klein's hand shot out, gripping her wrist with bruising force. Stop right there. I'm just getting my ID. Amani's words cut off in a gasp as Klein twisted her arm behind her back. Stop resisting, he shouted, though Amani hadn't moved. The marble counter rushed up to meet her face as Klein slammed her forward. The sickening crack of her glasses breaking mixed with the horrified screams of guests. Camera flashes erupted throughout the lobby. Phones recorded every second as Officer Rohr moved in, pressing her knee into Amani's back while Klein kept her pinned. She's not resisting, Gloria's voice rose above the chaos. Please, she owns this hotel. This is Miss Rivers. Sure she does.